Hi everyone, Norman here. Today I want to show you how to knit the cast on formerly known as the Chinese Waitress cast on. I personally think the twisted chain cast on is a much better title for it. It's a medium stretchy cast on that is best done with a crochet hook, and it looks beautiful for the right kind of pattern because it creates this braided edge, but here for stockinette stitch it curls in a little bit. Let's show you how to knit the twisted chain cast on. So you start your twisted chain cast on with a simple slip knot any way you like. And then you pick up your crochet hook and place the crochet hook here behind your knitting needle. Pin it down with your middle finger. And now grab the working yarn with your right hand and wrap it around the knitting needle here, coming in from behind. And then do a yarn over and pull the yarn through. And now add 1/2 twist clockwise. And that is already the full repeat. Let's do that one more time. So put the crochet hook here behind your knitting needle, wrap around once, do a yarn over and pull through at 1/2 twist. One more time. Wrap around, do a yarn over, pull through, 1/2 twist. Let's do that a couple of more times in slow motion. So as you can see, this is actually remarkably easy, and I guess that's why so many people like this kind of cast on, because at first you go like, what on earth are you doing? But then if you've done it like 10 or 20 times, it goes so fast and it's so easy. And as you can see, it creates this beautiful braided edge here below. Plus, it's actually quite stretchy, so it's quite the lovely cast-on option. Of course, you can also try to do this with your knitting needles. However, the knitting needle doesn't have any hook, and you need to pull the yarn here all the way through the stitch. So I personally feel this is a little bit difficult to do with just your knitting needle, but in a pinch, and if you do it loosely enough, you can definitely do this. Still, I personally prefer the crochet hook. I also want you to understand what you're actually doing. So, a normal crochet cast on. There's the normal crochet cast on. You can also use this as a provisional cast on, and that is just a simple chain of chain stitches. So you create a chain of chain stitches, and then here on the back there are those back bars. And for a crochet cast on, you always pick up these back bars here from behind. All these back bars here from behind. That is essentially your crochet cast on. So for the twisted chain cast on, aka Chinese Waitress cast on, even though I implore you to not use the name any longer, it shouldn't really be a thing. You are basically doing the exact same. You are creating a chain stitch, but you are twisting it and you are picking up different parts of the chain stitch. Let me show you. So basically what you are doing is you are faking, a bit difficult here, you are faking a double yarn of a double chain stitch here with your working yarn. So you're not using the tail, you are faking a double chain stitch. Now if I do this, I'm not actually adding any twists. See here, this is a balanced loop. So by turning it around clockwise once, you are adding twist to it. That's why I call it twisted chain stitch. Let's do that a couple of more times. So that is, oops, I'm sorry, that is what you're doing. Now, this really has no real crochet. Well, I'm not sure, but I think you typically don't use this in crochet. Now, if we pull this along, you will notice that suddenly you have these little bars here. These bars here. So by twisting the chain, these bars were transported to the top. So for the twisted chain cast on, you are basically picking up these little bars here, these little bars. So you're not going into the front loop, not in the back loop or in the back bar. You are picking up these little loops here, and that is the twisted chain cast on. So as you can see, the edge is just beautiful, but as I said, it kind of tends to curl for stockinette stitch a little bit. Now, why did I employ you to stop using the name Chinese Waitress cast on? Well, we have a lot of names in knitting. So there's Elizabeth Zimmerman's sewn bind off, Judy's magic cast on, Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, a lot of names. However, the woman who popularized this cast on learned it from a Chinese waitress. And of course, the Chinese waitress does not deserve her own name. And then we also have things like German twisted cast on, the Italian cast on, the old Norwegian cast on, lots of geographic names in it. So we could call this Chinese cast on instead. However, I mean, you know, the German twisted cast on doesn't really have a lot to do with Germany. And then things like English knitting or so, well, there are tons of other countries where people knit the English way. So is it the English way anymore? No, it's throwing. So that's why I propose to call this the twisted chain cast on, because it tells you what it actually is and it does not promote stereotypes. Anyway, that's how to knit this, a twisted chain cast on. Please comment below if you have any questions or suggestions. And of course, as always, happy knitting and enjoy the rest of your day.